Just as is in the case of ni'mah, of blessing in the worldly sense, a person who has too much of it loses appreciation for it. Or a person for whom it has been easily facilitated does not recognize how precious it is. They say that you're much more likely to spend money recklessly that you didn't earn. The money that you hard earn, you're much more careful about how you spend it. Money that you inherit, or money that is given to you without work, you're much more likely to dispense of it without thinking too much about it, because you haven't recognized that someone sweated for that money. Someone went through hardship to get that money. It just wasn't you in this case. So a lot of times when it wasn't your own pursuit, then you don't recognize how special it is. And the Prophet ﷺ taught us what? How do we recognize the blessing of our ni'mah in the worldly sense? He taught us two things. Number one, sometimes to disconnect in a healthy way from your ni'mah is a means of gaining an appreciation for it. I'm only talking about in the worldly sense now. Meaning what? By fasting in the month of Ramadan from food, drink, and some of those blessings, you gain a greater appreciation for those blessings. So a temporary disconnect. There's the narration of Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu walking by Jabir ibn Abdullah radiallahu anhu, and he had meat, just bags of meat that he purchased. So he said to him, "What is that?" He said, "It's meat." He said, "Did you buy meat?" And he said, "Yeah." Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu said, "Well, why did you purchase meat?" He said, "Ishtahaytu." He said, "Well, I just felt like it. I desired it." And Umar radiallahu anhu says, "Is it that every time you desire something, you buy it? أَوَ كُلَّمَا اشْتَهَيْتَ شَيْءٍ اشْتَرَيْتُ? Is it just you feel like it, so you just buy it?" There wasn't anything about the meat. Umar was trying to instill a lesson of tarbiyah in him that don't just consume because you can. All the time, blessings. It's not just about your capability or you have the ability to buy whatever you want or do whatever you want. Don't be reckless because you can buy something. Instead, sometimes a little bit of deprivation is good. Anyone that has raised kids knows that the worst thing that you can do to your child is spoil them so rotten that they become entitled. Because that's not something they can shake off as adults. They just become narcissistic monsters. Because everything was handed to them growing up, and they expect the world now to play the role of parent and just give them whatever they want all the time. And when they don't get what they want, they throw tantrums as adults because they didn't get over the tantrums as children when a good parent held something back so that they could recognize that not everything in life comes that way to you. So their tantrums are delayed until adulthood, because we all threw tantrums at some point in life. And it's better that you get those tantrums out of the way as a child and recognize the world doesn't just come to you that way. So the Prophet ﷺ taught, again, sometimes a temporary disconnect from something that you can have in the worldly sense is a means of gaining a greater appreciation of that ni'mah, a means of gaining a greater appreciation of that blessing. The second thing, the Prophet ﷺ taught us to engage those that have less than us of that blessing. Not just to give charity, no, to actually encounter those that have less than us in terms of dunya. Giving charity, in particular in 2018, it's very easy to do it over a phone or to just swipe or to just do something online, and you don't ever actually have to go and deliver. And that's a blessing because it's facilitated ways for us to give charity. We should do that. And subhanAllah, imagine on the Day of Judgment meeting someone that you've never met in person. You put in your credit card information and you built a well somewhere, you fed someone, some orphan that you'll never meet, and then that person comes and takes you by the hand and enters you into Jannah. And you've never seen that person before. That's a blessing. So it has its own unique form of blessing. But that does not absolve you from encountering and engaging those who are needy. The hadith in Muslim Imam Ahmad from Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala anhu, shaka rajul nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam bi qaswati al-qalb. A man came to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and complained his heart was hard. This is spiritual numbness. My life is mechanical. I'm doing everything right, but I don't feel anymore. Awsahu an yamsaha ra's al-yatim. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told him, you should caress the hair of an orphan. Share your food with an orphan. Sit with that orphan. And that will soften your heart. It'll give you a renewed sense of meaning. You can't duplicate that through an online transaction. There has to be an encounter. And the Prophet ﷺ taught that a person should look to those that have less than them in dunya. It will make what they have seem plentiful. If you're constantly looking to those who have less than you in dunya, right? So you will know the value of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to you. It will do away with that entitlement.